Hey guys, how's it going? I just wanted to have a little conversation with you guys today. There's been some frustration out there in the classic car world, and it's not just Volkswagens, it's pretty much all of them. But Volkswagens have gotten just completely off kilter now of what the values of them are. And I mean, some of you guys, I just want to see your thoughts on this. I mean, are you guys getting priced out of the market? Is that what's happening? Because it's happening to me. I mean, I have all these cars, and part of the problem is that I've got all this registration insurance and everything else, and all of that went way up in price. I mean, I really couldn't believe how much of an increase in insurance I had. And then, of course, California just decided, well, just raise the cost of registration a little more. We need to tap our people a little bit more. That seems to be their philosophy, just tap the people of California. And it's really making it difficult, for us that are enthusiasts to keep paying into it. So, yeah, have you guys had frustrations of your parts prices going up just exponentially? I sure have. I got a parts cost increase, and a lot of it comes from labor cost. And I really was saying to people back in 2015 when they started this whole thing of raising minimum wage, that was just a bad idea. I mean, it doesn't do anything for the poor. It doesn't even help them, but it just makes everything go up in cost. And then all the middle class is who pays for it. And that's what's happening. So middle class people with their classics are getting priced out of the market. That's what I'm seeing happening. You can't buy a project for some ridiculous amount. And it's because somebody's making it super, super nice. And then some very, very rich person is buying the car and turning it into just like I don't know what you call it. It's just something that just sits there, and it's like a trading card, I guess. Like I own this thing and I can use it as a bartering factor or something like that. They don't even enjoy them. They don't get to drive them. So this is happening now in our world as well as other classic cars world. So like when I bought the parts for this, I got a new parts pricing guide, and I really can't believe how much increase there is right now. I mean, I got a parts price increase for this year, and because I had the wholesale stuff, so I kind of know what's going on. And some of the stuff just went insanely up in price, to where now building an engine is going to cost probably another $500 to $1,000. And, so I'm kind of in a dilemma. I really wanted to put like an Acrasa engine in this or something, or get it all original stuff. And now I'm just like, hey, I think I just want it to run decent. And so I might be doing some videos on that. I think I've got a set of valves for it already for the engine on this. So I think I'm going to just try and find the parts. Then there's the used parts bandits who are just buying up everything, whenever they see it that they know has value, and they just flip it to try and make money. They don't even have the car that they need it for, but they buy it because they know it's cheap, whatever, and then they resell it. So that's been going on as well. So really, it comes down to are you really an enthusiast, or are you just in this thing to make some money? And I'm an enthusiast, but I'm kind of going, I don't know. I'm going to have to sell off some cars to keep going. I really want to do stuff for entertainment for you guys for YouTube, but man, I'm also looking at, the cost of all this stuff going up. It's really making it tough, you guys. And I don't know if you guys are experiencing the same thing on the classic car world, trying to buy your parts and stuff like that. And it seems like, you used to tell people, hey, just save up some money, try and buy the best project you can, and then, turn it in, work on it, try not get something too rusty or, something it's going to cost you. Look at all the parts that are on it and whatever. Now it's just even those crap projects are just gone up. So it's just crazy. I mean, I hate to sell stuff because, it's like, I know the asset's going to go up in value, but then, I can't, the registration and insurance and all that stuff is just eating up capital faster than I can even imagine it would have ever. And part of that's because, the fuel prices. I mean, look at the fuel prices. Really, I want you to comment below. Do you think that if they would have continued the pipeline, that possibly that would have counteracted that? Let us know in the comments. Let me know what you think. Just seem like politicians are out to get, reelected or get whatever their agenda is. And they don't really care, about the people anymore. It's just like, we don't care about you guys. Just we'll do whatever we want to do. Seems like that was what's happening out there. And are you guys aware that the EPA is right now looking at making cities emissions-free zones, letting a city decide whether you can drive your classic car in it? That's happening. I didn't know if you guys knew that. I was going to make a video on that subject, and, I just didn't. So there's a few of them out there. People were getting notices in the mail about, where are you driving your car, how much are you driving it, and all this stuff that like the EPA is or not EPA, but it's a CARB in California, of course, the home of classic cars, where it all started, and everything else. And they're trying to evaluate where they can tell us whether they can drive it in your city or not. And people just keep voting for these guys. It's crazy. It just doesn't make any sense. As an enthusiast, I just don't know how people can even agree with that. I mean, do you agree with it? Do you think that's great? Do you think it's a good idea that they're going to try and make it so you can't drive your classic in a certain city in California? I don't know. I think that's kind of controlling myself. But anyway, the effects of a lot of this stuff and lawmaking and stuff like that makes things go up in price because you have more hoops to go through. Like, for instance, Wolfburg West in Corona, they had they have to collect taxes for all these different places, that they send parts to, and it's made the price of the parts go up as well as some of the other things. But what it's done is they have to collect all these taxes from different. They have a person. They send it to a company, and the company determines, what the city tax is, where they're shipping it to, what the state tax is, all this stuff, and then they actually are in charge of collecting that. So they have this whole program that they have to pay. And of course, when they have to pay, we have to pay. So all these crazy things happen. I mean, think about it. Back in the old days, they used to have something called Finger Hut. Anybody remember that? Your wife used to get the thing in the mail, and you could buy stuff through the little catalog, and you buy something out of state, and it didn't have any sales tax because you bought it out of state. But it seems like today they're just tapping into whatever they can get to get your money. There's just stuff like that happening. And all that's, again, affecting the classic car market and making parts more expensive and making it more difficult for people to buy things. Personally, I just get the feeling like I'm being tapped. It's kind of like, it's really not a very good feeling. Government's just out to tap us, get what they want out of us. So anyway, that's been going on. So yeah, all these things affect the classic car market. And of course, the rich are buying these things up and just putting them in their warehouses, and there they sit. They're not going to be driven. It's just going to be some trading card, for them. Seems like that's the newest trend, going on now. And yeah, it's just one of these things are going to be trading cards. Not going to be driven like what we like to do. And that's what I like. I build cars to be driven. I don't build them to be showpieces, and nobody's buying those right now, because those people that buy them to drive them, they don't have any money. So there's just, that going on. So it's a real weird situation we're in right now. So the ones that are like really super original and really nice, or like, there was a rabbit pickup I saw sell on on Marketplace, or no, not on Marketplace. It was on Bring a Trailer, sold for like $35,000. But it was all original, had the original engine, had the original paint, I think, on it, original interior. That thing's never going to get driven on the road. And who would, if you ever drove one of these things when it was original, if it had the 1.6 liter diesel, that's what this one had in it, which if it had air conditioning, you could never turn the air conditioning on. It was just, the engine would just shake and dash would be shaking. The whole truck's shaking. You know, if the air conditioning was on, it was just really terrible. It had absolutely no power, would do maximum about 55 miles an hour on the freeway with the air on, you know, where when I get this one done, this one's going to be built for a driver. You know, it's got the 1.9, it's got a 5-speed, you know, it's got decent interior in it. I'm going to have all this all done here pretty soon. I'm going to have all this interior's nice, tweed, but it's not original. It's original reproduction. And, you know, it's going to be a driver. You know, it's going to be for somebody that wants to get around, have fun in it, get 50 miles a gallon and have some fun. But, you know, am I going to get 35 grand for it? When it's all painted nice and looking good, except for I'm not going to do underneath the hood because there's no point. It's going to be a driver, you know. So, you know, am I going to get that kind of money for it? Probably not. You know, probably not. And then what happens is, you know, we're all in these things upside down. The person who's the enthusiast is trying to do it for the people is basically getting bent over by this whole situation. So anyway, share your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think. But I think that's kind of what's happening right now, and it's disheartening. You know, it really is. A lot of other car people in other brands are in the same boat, and they're saying the same thing. It's happening all over. Guys are buying them up and putting them in their little garage. Never leaves it, you know, never drive it. But it's just original. Ooh, I got it all original. Don't drive it. Leave it like it is. Because someday it'll be a nice trading card for me to get money out of. You know, that's what this isn't about. This isn't about that, you guys. I don't know. Maybe it is. Let me know what you think. So some dude will probably buy this up and it'll sit in their warehouse. This car is really an excellent driver. This car is like 100% built to drive. 16 single in it. Ported with a cam, a little bit of compression upgrade on it. Front end is tight as it can possibly be. It has the original shock, so it drives really and rides really smooth and nice, you know. So yeah, you think, man, you know, this would be so cool for somebody to drive and, you know, go back and forth and at least go to the shows in it. Probably won't happen. Somebody will probably just buy it and it'll just sit there in their warehouse, you know. That's the sad thing to me about this stuff is, you know, that's not really what I think they were supposed to be, you know, supposed to be driven around and have some fun, keep the car happy, drive it, let it have some fun. I'm not saying use it as a daily driver, drive it in the rain and wind and whatever, and all that, you know, choose good days and have fun in it and drive it to work on a day when it's good weather, you know. Hey, that's the whole idea of having a classic, not this new, you know, takeover of rich people just hoarding them and not ever letting them leave their garage, you know. That's where we're going, I think, you know. Let me know what you think. I'd like to see what your thoughts are on that. But I kind of think the whole thing is just going to head that direction. You know, when you got parts prices going up like this, you know, how many of you guys are going to have difficulty finishing your projects? Have you noticed that, you know, almost some of the stuff is doubled in price? You know, and the value of the car hasn't gone up when it's all done that much to cover it. And the project prices are going up even higher because the values are high on the other end, but nobody's pricing in the difference in parts price costs, you know, that all that stuff costs more. So, you know, it's almost better off buying a car that's already in really nice shape, that's done, you know, because I could not build this car again for what I'll probably get for it. Never. No way. I couldn't do it. Not now. It's gone up that much. And that's if I do all the work. So I do all that work for free. So it's kind of disheartening. I don't know. Am I going to build any more after these? Maybe not. I don't know. It's the ones I got. Maybe not. I have a friend of mine. The only reason I can say maybe it's possible, I have a friend of mine back east who's picking up stuff, real giant rusty projects, and those are I can afford to buy. But I'm also looking at $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 in parts, more, $30,000 in parts, and then I sell it for $60,000 after doing all that work just to get my money back, and I basically done all the work for free. It's just not. I don't know. It's a difficult decision. Decide what to do at this point. Anyway, I was always being an enthusiast. I've had a classic car my whole life. I've had them since I was 16. Since I first got my driver's license, I've had a classic in my life 100% of the time. I've had a VW bus since I think it was 1981. Okay, never been without one. Always had one of those. So I've always had a Volkswagen since I was 16 years old. Always. Never been without one. People don't know that. They go, oh, well, you weren't into it. No, but I never got rid of all my cars. I always had one that I kept, So, I sold my Bug years ago when I was a younger guy. Similar to this one, 62. This is a 61. Really cool car. Neat car. Love driving it. Haven't got it out in a while. I had an issue that I figured out was not an issue. So, anyway, we'll fix that a little bit later. But I just haven't really driven it much because of that. But I'm gonna get it out and drive it a little bit and then see what happens. And if things don't change here in the next few months, I'm just not sure what I'm gonna do here. So anyway, let me know your thoughts. Please like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what you think, and maybe one of these videos will go viral and keep me going. Talk to you later. Please like, share, and subscribe.